Visiting a farm or acreage could be a fun experience for many, but if you're not careful, it could be dangerous as well. That's why hundreds of local students visited the Lloyd X grounds today to take part in the second annual Agriculture Safety Day. Bart Pediasic was there and tells us more.
Cows, they'll paw the ground.
It wasn't your average lesson plan for these kids. Local grade 4 and 5 students made their way to the Lloyd X grounds to learn a little bit about farm safety. According to JP Montalvo, it just makes sense to reach these kids early.
To be able to go and impact the kids that will be growing up someday to run those farms, or may even just be going out to play on them, to visit them. It's a great opportunity for us to give back some, as well as impact the next generation of farmers that are coming up.
With 8 stations set up around the building, students got to learn everything from being safe around farm equipment to how to handle live animals. The biggest draw of the show was definitely the tractor demonstration.
So we take a watermelon and we talk about how it's related to ourselves and our skull, and then protecting the inside. And then we put that watermelon underneath the tractor bucket, lower the bucket, and they see the watermelon get squashed. Let's just see what happens. Let's just see what happens to this watermelon whenever that tractor comes down. Ooh. And so that really helps them visualize the power of the tractor, even when it's not operating. And certainly if you're squishing anything in front of kids, they think that that's pretty fun.
And it's those lessons that these kids will not soon forget.
Because if we're ever on a farm, we need to know what, to stay away from and stuff.
They really don't know, because maybe like, oh my gosh, it's a good play. Come on, let's play here. And then a minute later, you're dead.
That's exactly what Montalvo hopes every kid walks away with, because one farm accident is one too many.
Again, whether they live on a farm or whether they just visit farms, that when they go out there's lots of fun things to do, but that the kids really realize that there are real dangers and that they need to be aware of those and avoid them if at all possible.
Bart Pediasic, Newcap News.
A group of students called the Dream Catchers have taken it upon themselves to promote their heritage through Aboriginal Awareness Week. Cultural learning and activities took place at Bud Miller Park this afternoon to celebrate their native heritage. Megan Willis has the story.
This week marks the 5th annual Aboriginal Awareness Week to take place in the border city, with cultural events and activities for people in the community to participate in.
Some of it, so all of us come together so that we have a bigger variety of things happening, and then our kids run the stations and they get to do a part of the mentorship that we're so trying to hit dearly.
Awareness Week is aimed at younger children to get them interested in Aboriginal history and culture, but is open to the whole community.
So we try and target our students, our schools, our community, and people who just want to know, and some people will walk by and learn things they haven't learned before or seen things they haven't seen, so it's good.
Students from the Dreamcatchers group helped to organize the day and led younger children through activities, encouraging others to get involved.
I personally don't think that people know enough about Aboriginal people. It's just people kind of shun them away and stuff like that. And I'm part of the Aboriginal group in my school, so I like to learn about Aboriginal traditions.
As a youth of Aboriginal descent, one student wants his culture to be properly represented and hopes that Awareness Week will help.
Well, most people think we just live off of the government, but we live off the land and we have to take care of ourselves, and we're really hard workers.
Megan Willis, Newcap News.
And Aboriginal culture was front and center at Lloydminster Comprehensive High School. Dozens of pieces of artwork will line the halls as students who painted them were inspired by an artist in residence. Now in this week's Beyond the Classroom, we see how the students embraced a whole new culture.
With a paintbrush in hand, Dana Skiba works on her very own masterpiece.
I want to better my relationship with them and better my understanding with what their culture is, and so I think doing this project is really helping me understand that better.
And that is exactly why artist Richard Dubois is spending a week with the Native Studies classes. He wants students to explore their creative sides, all while including touches of Aboriginal culture.
They're engaged in the work, and it's more of giving them that independence. So I think it's empowering to just feel free to express yourself and not have any guidelines.
From bright colors to symbols to animals, these students are not only painting pictures, but they are learning more about what it means to be First Nation.
I chose the beaver for determination because it shows how the First Nations people could connect or could fight for their rights as a group of people.
That there are a lot of different beliefs within the Native community and that they have a lot of different symbolism that I didn't know about.
The Native Studies teachers wanted to give these students a different kind of lesson.
We had them come into the class and lay out the process and the prep work and the brainstorming. Things have really come together, and a lot of the art that they have created here has been very neat and surprising.
Trying to promote individual creativity and allowing kids to, I guess, express themselves through art is probably one of the purest forms of doing that.
One thing students and staff are also proud of is that their work will leave a lasting legacy here at the school. These finished masterpieces will be hung up in the halls.